This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Farming Simulator 22 map first impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at Feldberg. But before that, this video is brought to you by Big Joe Mammoth and Bad Habit 99. Thank you for being farm barons. So the Feldberg map can be found at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu. And as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Let me read you some of the description. Welcome to Feldberg. This is a fictional place in the region south of Germany. Due to its location, most of this area consists of forest and pasture lands. In this place, you will mainly be working with forestry, and you can also do farming and animal husbandry. There's also a small neighborhood that is in a neighborhood with larger residences on the side. You can establish your own farm or factory in some areas. There are some factories currently available on the map, such as chocolate and cheese factory, and you can add objects you want to empty areas. This map includes 30 farmlands, 10 pastures, 1 sheep, cow, and chicken area, also kind of separated from the local farm area. Let's go ahead and load in. We are going to be using the mods we typically look at maps with, which is additional field info, additional game settings, animal food overview, field lease, field calculator, precision farming, and straw harvest. Now, I will tell you, if you load this map up in farm manager mode or start from scratch, you will find the main farm is built out exactly how you see it here in new farm mode. In addition, you do start out with starting machinery in all game modes as well. I also loaded the system up with a low-end system that was using integrated graphics, and I was able to easily maintain 60 frames per second traveling around the map once various textures were cached in. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. And when we zoom out, you can pretty much see why the description said that this map was predominantly forestry, because the southern half of the map is mostly dense forest. There are little patches of kind of meadows here and a few very, very small fields. In addition, in the northeast, we have a big section of forestry over here as well. We do have a biogas plant over here to the east, and we also have all our standard crops available to us in Farm Sim 22 available on this map, including our premium expansion of red beets, carrots, and parsnips. Take a look at our farmland screen. You can see that we start out by owning farmland ID 29. That is the main starting farm. That can be bought for $169,840 in any alternate game mode. In addition, we have farmland ID 34, which is where the animal areas are pre-placed, and that can be bought for $131,000. We do not own that at the start, although we will be able to make use of this area even though we do not own it. Let's go ahead and take a look at our farmland lease screen. This is going to show us all of the viable farmlands, how large those farmlands are, and if those farmlands include any fields, what fields are included, and lastly, how much is that farmland going to cost us. Let's now take a look at our field calculator screen. This is going to break down the individual sizes of each particular field. You see we have lots of fairly small fields, less than 1 hectare. I believe the largest field here on this map is going to be 2.5 hectares in size, and that is going to be here field 19. Take a look at our crop counter. We do have the standard base game crop counter available to us here on this map. And let's jump up here and take a look at our precision farming soil map. This map is making use of the Alpine soil map. So let's go ahead and see how that is being applied to these fields. Overall, the vast majority of fields are going to be a combination of loamy sand and sandy loam with a wee little bit of loam mixed in. To the east, we do have a little bit of silty clay dropping in here on a couple fields as well. Taking a look down through our prices screen, you do see that we do indeed have the ability to sell all of our base game crops that are available to us here in FS22. In addition, we do have the ability to sell our eggs, wool, and milk, and our silage, hay, straw, and grass. As we continue down through our base game production items, we once again do indeed have the ability to sell all of our base game production items as well. One important thing to note is we do have the ability to buy bulk lime, but we do not have the ability of getting rid of our stones. So if you are playing with stones enabled, you will need to find some other place to take your stones because there is not one built in. In addition, if you are playing the farm production pack, well, there's no way of washing your root crops. And if you are wanting to play with the platinum expansion, given the map is predominantly focused on forestry, it is a little disappointing that we do not see some of these platinum expansion production items being built in. But nonetheless, if you are going to do those, you will need to put down your own sell point. But we do have production items and crops that we can sell from the premium expansion built in. In fact, the supermarket pretty much is going to accept next to everything. If you are playing with if you are playing with pumps and hoses, well, you can also get rid of your separated manure. And if you have straw harvest, there is a sell point for your hay and straw pellets. We start out with a decent listing of starting machinery given the small sizes of these fields. All of it is owned, none of it is leased. We do have a cow barn that does have 40 cows in it at the start. And we do have contracts available on this map. We do not own any production chains at the start. In fact, this map has 6 production chains built in, and there are no collectibles. Let's go ahead and take a look at that starting fleet. We start out with the New Holland T6 175, Massey Ferguson 5S 145. We also then have the T6 125 and the Massey Ferguson 5S 145. We've got a pair of those Massey Ferguson small tractors. We've got the Dutesfahr Topliner 4090H harvester, as well as the 4090H header. And, well, shockingly, we do not have the 4090H header trailer. We've got a pair of Welger DK115 trailers. We've got the POV 5 XL plow, the Cento 4000 Super Cultivator. We have the Horse Joker 4CT disc harrow. We have the Amazon KG 3001 Super Power Harrow that is typically paired up with the Sitya 3000 in Super Seeder. Those are often connected together. We have the Hardy Mega 1200L fertilizer and herbicide sprayer, the GMD 8730FF butterfly mower, and the GMD 3123F front mower. We've got the Fanex 904 tedder, as well as the Boss Alpine 251 forage wagon. For our forestry work, we have the Anderson M160 log trailer. We also have the Quickie Q7M front loader arms. And for the front loader arms, we have the pallet fork and universal bucket. Lastly, we wrap it all up with a 1,500 kilogram front weight. Pretty heavy for those small tractors, I will have to say. Now, this map also does not have any mods or vehicles that are built in. Take a quick look around the farm area here. We have our farmhouse with our sleep trigger. We have our base game silo with our dump and fill point. Got a few easy sheds scattered around. Some with our machinery underneath of them, some of them empty. We have a fuel point, and then we have our barn. And that is pretty much the main starting farm. As I mentioned, we do have kind of to the south and east of this starting farm area, we have an area where we do have our animals. Let's just quickly move down there. And I will say that everything at both of these locations can be sold. So all these buildings can be cleared out if you want to. We have some liquid manure slurry storage. We got a building here where we can deposit some root crops. We can deposit our loose forage or machinery. We have some more easy sheds with our hay equipment. Here we have our sheep. So we have our fuel, not our fuel, but our food drop off. I mean, I guess it's fuel for your animals, right? 65 sheep can be stored within here. And then on the other side, we have our wool area. We have 3 pull-through silage bunkers. Another building with some bunkers built in. Now, those are not for silage. Again, those are for root crops or forage, or you can put bales in there. Pretty much whatever you want. We have our slurry point here. This is the base game cow area. We've got the 40 cows. We have our food and straw trigger within here. We can hold a total of 45 cows, so we do have room for 5 more. And we have our milk point. Like I said, everything here can be sold at both of these areas, technically even if you do not own the land. Now, before we get too far into the mix, let's go ahead and take a look at our animal food overview. We'll see that we have pretty standard animal food requirements across all of the various animals. And the description mentioned chickens, but you know what? I've not found the chickens. So let's go back here and look real quick. Maybe it's hiding around the house or something. Looking around this farm 3 different times, and I did not see any chickens whatsoever. We don't have chickens. They would be listed here if we had them. Maybe it's on some land we don't own. I don't know. So, at any rate, with respect to, can you customize the starting farm? Yes, indeed, you can. You can customize both farm areas, technically, even if you do not own the land. Let's get a little bit of altitude and just kind of fly around here. We're going to go clockwise, because the vast majority of the hotspots we're going to look at are going to be over here to the west. But I do want to spend a little bit of time just kind of coming around here. This is obviously the Erlengrot base map that this map is inspired upon. And when I was looking at this map earlier, I thought, well, this would be like if Erlengrot was predominantly forestry or had a lot more forestry focus. What this might look like, because look over there to the south. I mean, it is a whole lot of trees. And we've got some pretty significant elevation changes over there as well. We do have our Erlengrot BGA located right here. 2 3-sided silage bunkers. As far as productions go, we do have 6 productions built in. So here we can see Little Field 2. There's Little Field 1. And Little Field 3 is right up here on the hillside. I like how we've got these kind of little clearings with fields on hillsides. Way up here at the top, we do have Field 4. Right here at the map's edge. So in addition to the biogas plant, we do have the flour mill. We have the chocolatier. We have a bakery, sawmill, and spinnery. So with respect to production being built in or areas set aside for such, we're going to say yes, indeed. We do indeed have production built in. So we are going to give the map a full point there. Just take a look at the altitude that we've got here from up here kind of toward the top of the mountain. And then down in the valley. And then we have a really significant drop off here. And then it just picks right back up. With respect to the ability to sell all of our basic crops, animal outputs, and production points, we are once again giving the map a full point there as well. Like I mentioned, we are giving the map a full point with farm being customizable. And buildings where probably are using the new texturing technique. We're predominantly using the Erlengrot buildings here with the new textures, so I will go ahead and give the map a full point there as well. So here we have our flour mill. So we have our interactive icon, our dump point, and our pallet spawn point. We have a lime purchase point right across the street from that. Kind of south of the main animal area, we're going to have a fuel point. And then our spinnery. So we have an interactive icon, dump point, and pallet spawn point for the spinnery. And around the back, we do have our supermarket sell point that is pretty much going to take everything and anything. Go over here to the west where we have kind of our two residential areas. The area to the southwest is going to be the area that's a bit more built up. And then the area to the northwest is going to have more single-family homes. We have our chocolatier right here. And of course, inside we have all the triggers. So we have an interactive icon, dump point, and pallet spawn point. Just beside the chocolatier, we have our cheese factory. So we have our dump point, pallet spawn point, and interactive point right here at the door. We have our vehicle dealer. Let's go ahead and see where our Mahindra is going to spawn at. Well, we're not going to be doing the drive around tonight or today. But at least see where it spawns. Over here in our parking lot, so we've got a pretty good sized area for our vehicles to spawn in at. I do know there was a recent map release where we had issues with contract vehicles spawning. I don't think you're going to run into that issue here on this map. And we do have then our dealer trigger right here as well. Another fueling point. We have our sawmill. So our wood chip point, dump point, wood cell trigger, pallet spawn point, and interactive icon. We have our animal dealer. And then we have our animal dealer sell point around back. Very, very reminiscent of Erlengrot itself. And that is predominantly it. Now, with respect to our final scoring metric of trigger and interactive areas being clearly marked, we're going to give the map a full point there as well. So that's going to wrap this map up with a perfect score, 5 out of 5. We haven't seen one of those for too terrible long, but it is always glad to see it when they do pop up. I'd love to know what you all think down in the comments below with respect to Feldberg and it being a 5 out of 5, or are you going to play this map? Would you like to have seen maybe the Platinum expansion being able to be sold maybe down to supermarket or somewhere else? Because you know what, that would be awful handy. At least you could sell stuff, you could put down a production. That's fine and dandy, but having to put down a sell point as well, that does tend to get a little bit annoying in my opinion. So again, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And until next time, happy farming.